channel, and today we're going to be doing another talk through spell. So this is where I just kind of talk you through the spell, how it's done. I don't actually show you. So we're doing another jar spell. Last week we did a sweetening jar, so this week we're doing a sour jar. And I do want to make a note here that a sour jar is very powerful, and I would not do one unless you dire need to. Because it is going to screw up the person's life that you're doing this on, and there is no going back once you've done it. So a sour jar are used to sour a person or a situation. These are usually sour jars are usually used to sour someone's life. It affects the person's relationships, job, finances, every aspect of their life it affects. So you want to make sure that before you do this, that it's something that really needs to be done. I'm talking about the worst of the worst people that you're trying to do this on. And believe me, I am totally fine with you doing this against someone, but I'm just saying that this is really going to fuck up their life. So make sure that it's something that you're really sure that you want to do. And with any spell work, you should be sure, but this is something that's very powerful and very negative. So make sure they deserve it. Then it's not just you being upset about something they've done, because this is going to ruin their life. So just keep that in mind. As usual, I'm just going to give you the things that you need, and we're going to walk through the spell. So you're going to need a small jar. You're going to need some vinegar. You're going to need hot peppers or hot sauce or anything that's really spicy and hot. This is to make them feel irritated and uncomfortable and just, hot, and just, how that feeling when you just are hot and irritated and uncomfortable and you just don't know why. You're going to need nails or needles, mustard seed, and this is to add fighting and misunderstandings in their relationships, anyone that they're come in contact with, basically. Poppy seed to add confusion and chaos. Sulfur. And for sulfur, I use matchstick heads because I am allergic to sulfur, so I can't use it. You can buy sulfur in like a powder form. I honestly don't know where you would buy it, but I'm sure you could buy it online or wherever things like that are sold. But I use just matchstick heads, and that works perfectly fine because that's what makes the strike of a matchstick head is the sulfur that's in it. You're going to need a black candle and your petition paper. So you're going to start by cleansing your area really good. We want to make sure that all of our things that we're using are completely neutral and have been wiped clean of any energies. We're going to prepare our petition, and you're going to do this by writing the person's name on the petition. Like I've said in the past, how I do my petitions is not the same way that is the traditional way. I write the target's name first, and then the intention, and then I sign it like a check, all in a row, like a paragraph. The traditional way is to write the target's name first, turn it whichever way that you're going to be turning it. For this spell, you would be turning it to the left, or your left, counterclockwise. You're going to write the intention for the spell, turn it counterclockwise, and then sign your name. So, an example of a petition for writing a petition for this spell would be, you would write their name, like I said, and you're going to sour all areas of their life. sour all their relationships, all their finances, and sour their jobs. So you're going to write sour all whatever. Because that is the whole goal of this. You're going to sour their relationships, sour their jobs, sour their finances, sour all areas of their life. So that's the basics of the petition. And you want to, you want to have their name on this petition the 3 times first. If you're doing it like I'm doing it, you can write it once, you can write it 3 times. It's totally up to you. And I already explained that as you're writing it, you're going to turn to counterclockwise to your left, because we're not bringing this in, we're sending it out. We don't want this coming back to us. So you're going to hold a petition in your hand, and you're going to think about all of the things that this person has done to you and how you want to sour all of the things in their life. So you're going to envision all of the things going wrong in their life. They lose their job, they lose their spouse, they lose their home, their ways of making money. All of these things, that's what you want to visualize as you're holding this petition, and you're going to put it in the jar. Then you're going to cover the jar with vinegar, or cover the petition with vinegar. You don't need to fill it all the way, just enough to cover the petition. Then you're going to add your hot peppers or hot sauce, your needles or nails, your mustard seed, your poppy seed, and your sulfur or your matches. And as you're doing that, you need to state what they're for. So once again, the hot peppers or hot sauce are for making the person hot and irritated. The mustard seed is for adding fighting and misunderstandings in all of their relationships. The poppy seeds are to add confusion and chaos. Okay? And then you're going to enchant that jar with all of the ingredients in it one more time. And I would spend a while doing this, thinking about all of the things that they have done to you and all of the things that you want to happen to them. So anger is a very powerful emotion. Keep that in mind. Far more powerful that I have seen than any other type of emotion. And people don't use their anger near as much as they should. There's a misunderstanding in magic thinking that I shouldn't do spell work when I'm angry, but when you're doing a type of spell like this, you need to use your anger. So keep that in mind. As usual, you can call in all of your deities, your elements, and all of that before you start any of this. It's totally up to you. Now for the black candle, you're going to write the person's name on it. You are going to write the intention of souring their life. So basically everything you wrote on the petition, you're going to inscribe into the candle. You can use some sort of sour oil or a domination oil. I can't think of an oil right off the top of my head that would be specifically for souring someone's life. But you could use a domination oil, and that would work just as well, or a commanding oil to anoint your candle with. And then what I would do is I would take the herbs that you have, the mustard seed, the poppy seed, and you can use like red pepper flakes and anoint or and dress the candle with that. And then you are going to adhere it to the top of your jar. And then before you light it, you're going to think about souring their life, how horrible this person is and what they've done to you, and you're going to take away everything that's good for them. So, or everything that they have good in their life. So you're going to sour their relationships, yada yada. You get the hint. And then I would burn that candle all the way down. I would try and do it all at once. So don't use a ginormous candle. You could use a tea light. You could use a votive candle, the one that's one step up from a tea light, or a chime candle. It's totally up to you. If you use a tea light, you're probably not going to have enough space to write all of that. So maybe not use a tea light, but it would totally be whatever you have on hand. Now, you can take that candle and burn it over 7 days. You burn it a little bit and a little bit and a little bit, and each time you go back to light it, you're enchanting the whole jar and the candle together. You can do that if you want. It depends on you. You can burn it all at once, or you can burn it over like a week's time. It's totally personal preference. I normally just let it burn all the way down, and then I will take that jar and I will work with it for the next week. I will sit there and put that intention in once a day for the next week. And then after that week is up, you're going to take it and you're going to throw it in the garbage. And that's basically you sealing that person's fate, that their life is garbage now. It is completely ruined. So don't use anything in it that you really want back, because it's not that type of spell. It's going away and it's never coming back. So keep in mind, when you're doing a spell like this, I would tandemly be doing a protection spell for yourself, just so there's no rebounds or anything like that. Because like I said, this is a very powerful spell, and it's going to be very drastic to the person that you're doing it for or on. So you want to protect yourself to make sure that there's no backlash in any way. I don't really believe in the karma or the whole threefold law or whatever it is. You do what you need to do, but I would protect myself as I'm doing it. If a person has been bad enough for you to need to do this, then do it. Simple as that. That means that they have really screwed you over and they need to be punished for that. So you go ahead and do you, but I highly encourage you to protect yourself as you're doing it. So I would do protective wards as you're doing it. I would do a protection candle or some sort of ongoing protection working for the amount of time that you're doing this. I would also do your protective jewelry and amulets, everything that you would normally do. I would amp all that up during the week that you're working with this, and probably a little bit beyond. This is a spell that you're going to work for a week and then you're going to throw away, and you're just not going to think about it anymore, and his or her life is just going to deteriorate, and for however long it takes for that to happen. Usually it's pretty quick. So definitely protect yourself as you're doing this. And I hope this is helpful. I hope that I didn't ramble on too long. I feel like I'm pretty chatty today, and I don't know why. So I'll see you next time. Bye.